What's going on, guys? Here we are at the beach, and today I want to talk about why Colombia is way better than Brazil. And first off, the best part about Colombia is they have better Amazon. If I go on Amazon.com, I can order something. It's not next day or same day delivery like in the US, but you can get it within a reasonable amount of time. They do tax the hell out of you. I've seen it up to 50%, but in Brazil, it's worse. And you have less stuff to choose from, and it takes even longer. So, Brazil has a lot of logistics issues that I don't like. Colombia, you have far more access to the American Amazon service. In Brazil, good luck. I mean, you need a new microphone, you need any type of electronics, a speaker, anything basic. Brazil's not gonna Amazon, the US is not gonna ship it. In the Brazil version, they have a bunch of garbage products that you don't even want to use. Cheap stuff from China.
Ah, you motherfucker.
Nada, nadar. Nada. No sé
Tú
nadar.
puedes.
And now the second thing, Brazil is way more dangerous. Knock on wood, Colombia is far more safe. I feel far more safe in Colombia than I do in Brazil. In Brazil, I feel like my head has to be on a swivel, not only just from local people trying to rob you, but I think the most dangerous part is the damn police. The police, I mean, I've had two different times I've had my life flash before my eyes. Like police having guns in my face, like they don't leave you alone until they realize you're an American. But I've had guns pulled in my face multiple times in multiple cities. So Brazil is far more dangerous. You got to worry about everybody. You got to worry about women robbing you. You got to worry about guys robbing you. You got to worry about police trying to end you, trying to delete you. I've had that happen. So in Colombia, it's more so a police officer might want to bribe or something like that. That's the worst case scenario. Um, I haven't had any dangerous interactions with police in Colombia other than bribes. Brazilian police, they don't want to bribe. They want to shoot somebody. I mean, they're really trigger happy. They shoot first, ask questions last. So Brazil is hella dangerous. The other thing I want to talk about is the dating apps. Dating apps in Colombia far better than Brazil. In Colombia, there's just far more attractive women on there. Don't get me wrong. In Brazil, they have a lot of attractive women. A lot of goddesses, a lot of dimes, but they're just few far in between. Now they're there. Don't get me wrong. They are there, but it's just few far in between. Like you go anywhere in public, 95% of the people you see are just regular looking, average looking people, average looking women, obese women. But that 5%, are dime pieces. But that's the same as the U.S. I mean, maybe 5% of women in the U.S. Don't have a bunch of tattoos and nose piercings and obese. So it's really about the same as the U.S. in terms of just attractive women overall. So, but Colombia, I mean, you can't throw a rock without hitting a dime. I mean, they're everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous women. Like, I see a random woman, like, damn, it's the coldest girl I've seen in my life. Then you just take two steps, you turn your head, and there's another girl that's just as cold. And you don't know who's colder. So, when you get on a date app in Colombia, I mean, shit, I'd say at least 30% of women are just drop dead gorgeous. And, very few are just average looking. I mean, I just found them drop dead gorgeous. And I would say, I think the only reason why Brazilian women have a reputation of being so beautiful or more attractive is because they're half naked. If they had normal clothes on, they look average. I mean, like a lot of the women you see at the beach, of course they look good because they're in a thong. They're wearing a thong. And I would also say that Brazilian women on average are taller. Colombian women are a lot shorter. So, it can naturally make a girl look better when she's taller, has thicker legs, and, bigger hips and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of, in Brazil, I say there's at least two, three times as much LGBT stuff on dating apps. So you swiping, man. I mean, shit. 25% of the people swiping, you got to swipe left on, or whatever you into. 25% of the people you got to swipe left on are LGBT. They're part of that community, and nothing against them, but you see a lot of that. I mean, Colombia is probably no more than 10% max of the community that pops up on dating apps, but Brazil is like 25-30%, and then you got another shit 40%, damn near 50% of women on dating apps that are just morbidly obese. So in Colombia, there's obese women, but you're talking maybe 5-10% of the population. So you got way more to choose from in Colombia. And the next thing I want to talk about is, Brazil does have a better exchange rate. It's like 5,000 reais to a dollar. Colombia has plummeted. It used to be like 5,000 pesos per dollar. Now it's like three. You getting like it sucks now. So if you were paying like $1,000 a month in rent, now shit. Or if you was paying $700, now you're paying at least 1,000 now, based on the exchange rate. So things are more expensive in Colombia now due to the increase. I don't think the dollar. I think the dollar got a little weaker, and then the peso got a little stronger too. Which I think, in my personal opinion, I think the peso got so strong because shit, everybody's going to Colombia now. So when people go to Colombia, they're just stimulating the peso. More people are buying pesos, which and they spend those pesos in Colombia. So all it does is strengthen the Colombian peso. There's too many people going to Colombia now. Y'all need to spread out. Go to Peru and Ecuador and shit. Okay, but I would say even though there's a better exchange rate in Brazil, I'm still gonna say that uh, things are more expensive in Brazil. I think rent is a little higher, and I'm gonna also say that I think Colombia's way cheaper. Rent is cheaper, and they have newer apartments and stuff like that, which is another point. Colombia, you get far more newer apartments, far more luxury. Brazil, everything's pretty much run down, old. Oh, you rent $1,000 a month apartment and it was built 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Really old, rundown stuff, rundown stoves, appliances, and everything like that. They don't have up to date stuff like Colombia. And another thing I want to talk about is I've seen a lot of guys complain about being black in Latin America, feeling like only white men are desired. I mean, my personal experience, that's really a personal issue. If you think that being black is a bad thing in Latin America, even though there's colorism, from my experience, black men, if you're black, you're pretty much a rock star. If you are a clean cut black man that can speak the language, in my opinion, I feel like the white man, the white Hispanic is not the status quo. The status quo is being black, from my experience, because I see even the Hispanic men, they get a little nervous when they see when their girl is around a black man because they feel like a black man could take that girl. The woman is viewing you as you got to understand the whole world copies black culture, black American culture. You go anywhere in the world, you're gonna hear black music, black American music, our influence, our style of dress, our movies, our slang, everything we do gets copied worldwide. Every culture copies the US, black American culture. So when they do see a black American, you gotta understand you come with your own swag, your own style that is mimicked all around the world. And you're the original person. So, from my experience, being black in Colombia, being black in Brazil, I felt like a rock star. Um, Most women, I get a lot of stares from dime pieces, beautiful, gorgeous women staring at me, eyeballing me. I go approach them, and they're happy that I spoke to them and stuff like that. They gladly give me their social media. So I've always felt like a king in Latin America, Brazil, and Colombia. Um, but I would also say the one thing I would say good about Brazil is they have a better girlfriend experience. I think like when you date a Brazilian, they're just more fun to be around. They're the funnest, enjoyable women to be around. So that I will give that over Colombia. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had some amazing experiences in Colombia with really fun women. But I would say the most consistent female is the Brazilian. They're just so fun. They call you beautiful, and they tell you how they feel about you, and they tell you how much they like you and stuff like that. So, um, and I'm not into the passport prepaid stuff, but yeah, man. I mean, if you have your shit together, women are gonna like you, and you don't have to pay, and they can be beautiful, gorgeous women. So that's all I got to say. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.